Susan with LifeSkate.com with Johnny Weir at Figure Skating in Harlem's annual Skating with the Stars. Johnny was fresh off a whirlwind media tour after finishing 6th at the 2010 Vancouver Winter Olympics. Are you going to have your own skating show and your own talk show and your own show?
I want everything my own. We're currently talking about doing a second season of Be Good Johnny Weir, which is very cool. So in that way I have my own show. An ice show we're working on. We've already got people interested in putting up money to help us to support that show. And I mean, I don't know if it would be a tour right away, but definitely a few big cities we would do the show in. And my own talk show I haven't even thought about yet, but that'd be fun.
Because you did a lot of talk shows after the Olympics. George Lopez, that was my favorite. I don't know why.
I wrote a yak, that's why it was your favorite. I really enjoyed doing the circuit of the talk shows, and everyone's been really supportive of me and knew about me. And that's something that I think is so cool, that all these famous talk show hosts and people in the media and, you know, Kelly Osbourne and Elton John, I mean, all these people watch the Olympics and know who I am and appreciate what I do on the ice, and that's a cool thing. When I have my own talk show, though, I think it'll be a beautiful thing, because I'm not afraid to talk to anybody. I mean, you can be Donald Trump or, you know, a homeless person, and I'll talk to you the same way. My mother instilled that in me, that we'll talk to anyone. I'll talk to a bush as long as it stays there long enough to listen to me.
Have you had a chance to just breathe and think about the future?
You know, I haven't. Since the Olympics, I think I've been home a total of 7 days. It's hard running around and dealing with a lot of emotions that I have from the Olympics and from, you know, my skating career up until this point. If I want to continue, if I'll be good enough to continue, if I'll be good enough to achieve a result. Because in competition I can perform and skate and give myself warm fuzzies, but to compete, you don't compete for 6th place, you compete for a medal. And that's something I haven't really been able to delve into yet. And of course, you know, I've had to be up for this, you know, period after the Olympic Games. So it's hard to really deal with your emotions when, you know, I've got a lot of dark emotions since the Olympics. I'm very upset with the way things went, and you know, those things I'll have to deal with when I go on vacation and sit under a palm tree by myself.
Were you angry?
You know, I sat there and I listened to the scores, and I sat with Galina and Victor and was listening as they were making the announcements and heard the audience booing. And of course I didn't know what was going on behind the scenes and what skaters had done what and who was winning. I didn't even know Evan won or was winning until till he actually ultimately won while I was in the mix zone. And, you know, I did my mix zone. I was very up and very peppy. And to be honest, as soon as I started walking back to where Galina and I were hiding before my performance, I just started bawling and I cried for 30 minutes. And, you know, I did everything I could. It took all my energy to skate as well as I did and to do my job, and I'm so proud of that. But you don't go to an Olympics for 6th place. You don't.
In your show, Be Good Johnny Weir, there was an episode, one of the latter ones, where not a recurring theme, but you were asking yourself and the audience, you know, what do you do when your best isn't good enough? And on top of that, what do you do when your best isn't good enough? And then the other guys who don't do their best seem to be forging ahead. And I guess there's no good answer at the end of the day for you.
There's no good answer to what do you do when your best isn't good enough. I have no idea what to do when your best isn't good enough, and it seems this season that it happened a lot. At the Grand Prix final, at the Olympic Games, and so on, and it's upsetting that I've given so much of my life to this sport, and you know, I knew coming into this season that maybe my time had passed, and my time was really 2005, 2006, that period of time in my life. But I mean, I was skating better than ever and doing as much as I could and doing a very good job, and I felt like I'd be rewarded for that. But I wasn't. I mean, there was something that I wasn't doing right, and you know, I've told lots of people, when this system came into power and they changed the system, people were saying, the system's made for you, Johnny. You own this system. And then all of a sudden I go from getting a 9 in the component scores to a 7. I mean, how does that happen? How do I get worse progressively? And, you know, it's a lot of information to take in. And the most important thing, though, to come out of the Olympics is that I did my job, and everyone around the world thinks I did my job and are proud of me.
Are you going to move to New York City?
I'm staying in New Jersey. I just signed my lease for another year. And I'm happy in New Jersey. I like it. I'm comfortable there, and just trying to figure out what the next step of my life is going to be. If I compete more this Grand Prix, because I do want to compete again. I just need to be ready and make sure that I'm good enough to win, or worthy of winning, I guess I can say.
When will you make that decision to, I'm in it, I need to get my coaching, my team back, and all that important stuff?
Well, I mean, I can really be ready by starting in June. There's no problem with that. So I'm going to enjoy my life a little bit right now, do my shows, keep myself together, and that's all I can do. And then if I am ready to train and compete and be prepared again, then I'll do it. And if not, I'll know I'm not. I'm not going to pull this thing when I say, oh yeah, I'm coming back, and then never do it. I hate that. So that won't be my situation. If I'm not coming back, I'll tell you when the Grand Prix assignments come out, okay, I'm not skating.
Be Good Johnny Weir, a lot of the episodes, you're obviously comfortable with your body, but I think I've seen you naked. Was that a conscious decision, or you literally forgot the cameras were there?
I'm naked for at least 83% of my life. So, I mean, I have no problem being naked, and if there's a camera there or not, I have no problem. I have no shame. And that's a good thing. I don't take myself too seriously to think, oh my God, someone's going to see my butt, or, someone's going to see a nipple. I'm fine. I mean, it's my body. Everyone has one. Everyone has nipples.
Everyone does have nipples.
Everyone has nipples. I mean, that's the quote of the year, I think, is that everyone has nipples.